Normally, I don't talk about these subjects because there are two subjects that I rather avoid for the sake of so many people with a twisted mind that believes in these subjects very religiously. But I've been sponsored to do so by a few of my viewers and those of you who are in my Neo family to give you Morpheus's red pill on this subject. And these two subjects is the Hebrew Israelites and women who have lost their virtue, or practically you could say gave away their virtue so willingly, like peanuts and beer at a baseball game. But I'm going to talk about the first subject, then I'm going to get on to the second. I really don't want this to be really long. It's going to be a very simple lesson for you today in this Academy of Wow Men. And as your professor, I recommend just to relax and open up your ears and accept this red pill. Now, I thought of a way to deal with this Hebrew Israelite situation. See, the question that was thrown at me is a handful of people who is somewhat confused now because they are hearing these sort of messages, this sort of information and this idea of identity from individuals out there in the open world. And then for them, they wanted to question because it sort of conflicts with my studies and my understanding and knowledge of history and of the biblical text and of the archaic, ancient, unrealistic gossip, okay, of the history and you can say the development, which wasn't really the development, it was a development of a fodder, an excuse of human anthropomorphic adjustments to abuse your psychology of Jester the Christ and every other so-called hero of our past world. Yeah, I can say it like that. You don't like it? Too bad. Suck your lollipop somewhere else. Okay? But here's the thing. I figured out a very simple thing, and that is to talk about myself for a moment. All right? Now, you know that I do call myself your professor here in the Academy of Wildman because I am your professor here in the Academy of Wildman. You're listening to the Academy of Wildman. All right? But other than that, everything else is just an example for the lessons that I give unto you. It is to give you ideas. It is for young men, and it is for mothers and fathers who so happen to desire a masculine male to be a leader or a voice for their young children. So therefore, it is specifically for men, or you can say for growing boys who have a good idea and a clear idea as to what real men talk about. And what is a real man? How does a real man hold his girth? How does he maintain his masculine frame? What does he say to girls? How does he deal with the opposite sex? How does he feel about himself? How can he gain his masculinity in this womanized time? How can he be strong in high school? How can he be able to engage in his best self and to win out of his best self and performance with this contorted, cursive existence that we live in the westernized world? So therefore, with my voice and what I teach, it is a good example. The more they listen to it, when they grow into it, it's not going to do anything but benefit them. So therefore, when I talk about titling, when I make certain discussions, it's for example, and it is for the lessons. Should you yourself be a grown child in a man's body, you don't need to be here if you don't comprehend that. But other than that, there's one thing that I do not do, and I've never done in my life, and I'm not interested in my future life. And that is trying to find an identity for myself. What I have discovered in the past, I would say 7-year period in the westernized world, is that everybody has been looking for an identity, looking for a place where they belong. See, the Martin Luther King Boulevard, Boulevard of our ancient construct that have never evolved, called America. There's been a lot of brown-skinned brothers who was looking for a brown-skinned hero or a savior. But at that time, he was called Obama. Okay? And for the rest of them before that time, you have Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. The list goes on. And for some of you, it was TD Snakes. Oh, excuse me, TD Jakes. So those handful of brown-skinned brothers and sisters was looking for an identity, looking for a hero, looking for a savior, looking for somebody to pull them out of their gutter mentality. So whenever there was an elected official, or whenever there was somewhat of a power structure or someone who stood above the rest of them, they looked at them as someone who was going to guide them like sheep onto the plantation. I didn't say off the plantation. I said onto the plantation. Because I discussed in my other audio, when you do not guide yourself, when you don't stand up to do what you need to do to survive, when you do not provide yourself with the knowledge, the energy, and the materials that you do have available. You do have available. Let me repeat myself. Okay? Then you are willingly signing up to be onto a current modern day slave-like mentality, because you are a slave to someone else's order and not your own. So specifically, they were looking for a hero and to find their identity in them. There's even a handful of them that would say, well, the Obama and the family was an idea relationship for the brown-skinned people. The same as Jay-Z and Beyonce. A lot of them say, oh, that's a beautiful relationship. It's a good example for the brown-skinned people. But never taking the time to look at the mirror and to adjust their lens as to what kind of identity that they have. Instead, when they want an example, if they want to have a conversation about relationships, life, godhood, leadership, they're always going to try to use these so-called outer people, which they're not inner people because they have a different life than you. Basically entertaining you. Basically, they have their own struggles. But those particular people, all right, who are following these outer people with their own problems, always seem to fail at looking over themselves to identify their struggle with those who are in the seat of power, are famous, are popular, are standing on the pulpit to preach to the masses of the asses, which are actually sheep asses. Yeah, I said it. But unfortunately, when you break it down like Lego blocks, okay, it's just a simple group of people looking for an identity. And of course, I'm not going to get into it in this one, but you talk about the LGBT, ABCID, whatever, what the hell, I don't care. Okay, again, it's looking for identity. You got the marches that have spawned since the 1994 and on. Okay, by then, pretty much on those times, it was segment by segment. And as you can imagine, it only ramped up through in the years. There were several events that were just speckles here and there. And of course, through the year 2000, 2002, 2004, and the marches started to get bigger, and little bitty crowds that you may see sitting outside of one of the shops or places that they protest against transformed to be an extreme mob, as what you have experienced once again in the Capitol. or the siege, because a bad negative seed evolves to be like that. That's only an identity of the downgraded, de-evolved mind of the common human today in the westernized civilization. It's only evidence that people are falling away and getting worse and not better. I gave an example. I'm not going to get into that because that's not what the subject's about. Just think about it for yourself. It's just a breadcrumb to throw at you. Just imagine, remember years ago, there was only a group of people who would just protest with signs outside of a building or outside on the streets. And usually it was about 7 or 8 people, or maybe 10 or 20. And if it was on a good sunny day, if the weather was good and there was nothing else better to do, you would have at least 10 or 20 of them just marching around in a circle. And it was always a peaceful protest or march. But again, it started to escalate and get out of hand as the years gone on. Again, clear evidence that the common mind of the degraded, unadvanced human today, okay, is beyond salvation. Okay. And at this particular point, we should know what the next steps are going to be. Actually, the capital should know by now what the next steps are going to be with these interesting individuals. But however, getting back to the subject of the Hebrew Israelites, no matter what the measure may be, whether you are black, chocolate, purple, Mexican, Asian, or whatnot, it's always good to affiliate yourself with something that you do have knowledge of and you've been there and you've done that. Okay? I don't speak of scrutiny, and never do I speak of degrading an individual for the sake of my own channel, which is actually our channel, or for myself to make myself look good, because I don't need to back up my teachings or my lessons. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and guess what? I don't give two butt cheeks whether it stinks or not. I'm here to open up minds and to give a red pill of salvation to your spirit and to your growth. Should you not take it, take the blue pill, just like I always do, and as you have saw in the movie, and you keep it moving, and goodbye. We don't have to have a conversation. We don't have to talk. Okay? But the fact is, there is an identity crisis. And there is too many people looking for being special. Now, I read about the story of the Hebrew Israelites and what happened to their so-called story. Okay? Wanting to be the chosen people from God and blah, 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 blah. And this is what I usually base it on. It's a very interesting thing. And let me go ahead and give you a red pill because I'm getting ready to take mine, because it seems like this is going to be the time forward. Okay? So bear with me for a second while I pull out the red pills for you. Let's stick mine down here. Well, that always works. Works every single time. I love it. Now, geeked up now. Listen carefully. Have you ever thought about this? Everybody wants to be generally the chosen one, right? It's simple, basic psychology through the past. There is always going to be, well, let's put it like this. The majority of the individuals in a group or in a classroom or in the industry or in your society, they're always going to look at themselves as a great person. Most people are going to want to feel, I said feel, as if they are the chosen one. When it comes to the sun shining upon the earth, there's always going to be a group of people who's going to say, well, God chose me. I am the special culture. I am the special kind. I am the best of the best that there ever is. I am the one that God shines his light upon. God don't shine his light upon anyone. And it's pretty much a very stupid thing, because Asians walk under the sun. Okay. White people walk under the sun just the same. Brown skinned people walk under the same damn sun. Okay, Indonesians, wherever you go around the world, everyone is living underneath the sun. So what makes you think that you're the chosen one from God and the sun is shining on everybody's damn skin? Okay, that right there exposes the lack of self-identity and looking for mommy and daddy to hold their hand. That's number one right there. Right there, that is the number one kicker. And if you don't catch that one, okay, you got a thumb in your mouth and up your dark tunnel back there. You need to disconnect it. Okay, clean your nasty thumb off and start thinking clearly. You got me? And simply put, on the majority, when you're having a conversation with modest, simple, common people, they don't look at the other river as far as looking down at themselves. Oh, I'm just this and that. I'm never special. And I can't find, I'm just no good. And I'm just ba, 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 ba. Typically, downtrodden, depressed people are going to look for a savior or an answer. And how they look for an answer is trying to find an identity that the world gives them. An identity that probably, and it wasn't true anyway, I'm just going to say it for the sake of some of you who are in first grade, history have provided. Okay? So therefore, what they do is latch on to that sort of identity to feel good about themselves. Let me tell you something right now before you start getting your pennies and your mind in a bunch. Okay? Because I will deal with you. I'm going to deal with you right here and right now by putting myself in the middle. That's what I do as an alpha male. My hands in my pocket and I'm in your face or in your ear. Okay? I am happy with myself being a man. I don't need to say that I am a Jew. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I am a Muslim. I am white. I am Asian. I'm black. I'm purple. I'm blue. I'm an alien from the dumbest planet on the furthest side of the universe to be proud about myself. I am thankful for the universe and nature to make me who I am. I am Alpha Red Pill Leon C, aka Morpheus, and that is what I am. I don't need to look for an identity in the Bible in order to feel or think as if God, listen, I can care less if God likes me or not. I like myself. Yeah, I said it. I absolutely said it right in your face or in your ear. Okay? I don't need to prove to you because I have Jew or Israel in the front of my name or some funny Kasuko Makakuto. Okay? For you to appreciate Morpheus. Not at all. I can care less whether you appreciate me or not. I am thankful for the skin that I have. And listen, I am gratified that I am a man. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Not looking for an identity that's written in a book or a piece of paper. I give myself my identity, my own identity. You understand? I didn't even name myself Morpheus. That was given to me by my followers, my friends, and people who know me personally. They called me Morpheus. I did not. Not at all. So this is what they relate me as. You got me? But other than that, I'm just simply Leon C. Or simply just a human being or a man. Even though some of you think that I'm not, but still I'm a man. Okay? So therefore, okay, as an example, especially for younger men who's trying to grow up and understand who they are, you need to be happy with being yourself, being a simple human being. When you're looking for an identity, you hate yourself. Yes, you hate yourself. And I'm not going to get into this right now. I had a conversation with the so-called doctor. Blew his mind. And he could, the face expression that he had on his face was, who the hell you think you are to talk to me like that? As if we was ready to rumble. That's somewhere he don't want to go. But anyway, as if he was ready to rumble. He had a conversation as if the conversation started off like this. Health and wellness is all about this and that. If you take this sort of medication, it's going to work out for you this way. And if you take it for a certain amount of months and this going to, I said, oh, really? I said, well, my research says that you need to go the natural route. Instead of going ahead and injecting yourself and using your over-the-counter and under-the-counter drugs and poison that you're trying to share into the environment to make people sicker, it's always better to do things the natural way. I know this by my studies, and I begin to break it down with science. I begin to break it down with physical facts, right? And then guess what he did after a few minutes? Because I didn't know he was a doctor. I didn't know. He was just this stout individual, short crop hair. I'm not going to give you too many details because you might, oh, I know who you're talking about. No. But he thought he knew something. And when I started going in on him, the first thing he said for a backup plan, this is their backup plan. Oh, well, did you know I'm a doctor? So I know about that. I'm a doctor, so I know about this. So he pulled out his little name tag thing, had, Dr. So-and-so, could have been Dr. Booty as far as I'm concerned, but Dr. So-and-so. But right there told me everything. So I'm thinking, so the conversation went further, says, so because you got DR in front of your name, I'm going to automatically respect what you're saying, dude. So all of a sudden you got leverage over this conversation because you pull out your badge and your DR. I want y'all right now, the sound of my voice, when you get a chance to check out that book I wrote called 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard. I talk about the subject in it in great details, but I'm going to tell you what happened between me and this so-called doctor. But just to give you a heads up, okay, reference, you check that out. And it's written by, of course, me, Leon C. I just didn't put Morpheus on it. Okay, and it breaks it down why people do this. But anyway, when he began to pull out his badge and say, well, I'm DR, that let me know immediately that he don't really have an identity, that he's depending on his so-called badging and marking himself as a doctor in order to win the argument, because it had nothing to do with the facts of what we were talking about. All he wanted to do was depend on his identity, okay, that was summed up by their social engineering and practices that we have normally around the country and typically around the world as a profession. But a lot of these people, they take it further and say, oh, this is who I am. And I talked about this in other audio as well. That's not who you are. It's just what you do. To me, you are Joe, you are Billy, or you are Susan, or you are Jane. That's who you are to me. I'm not going to say you doctor. I don't give two quarters or a nickel about how you feel like you're disrespected because I'm not saying DR. I'm going to call you Sam or Joe or whoever the hell you think you are. I'm not going to call you DR because you want me to. You're just a man like everybody else. You don't like it? Go chop some trees somewhere in your own forest. Mine is clear and I can see all the way to the highway where you need to be at, getting in my face. You comprehend me? But the very fact that he was depending on his badging let me know that he was depending on his identity that was given to him, not what he gave to himself. You see how I put that together? That was given to him by the social construct or the professional construct. However you want to put it together, it's still given because he wasn't born as a DR. You're not born as a gynecologist. You're not born as a nurse. You're not born as a firefighter. You're born a human being. If you don't like what I'm saying, okay, go back to your polygo bucket looking door movies and shows that you watch on Saturday morning, early in the morning. And maybe you can learn something from her. Dora the Explorer is a very good teacher. She's probably better than me. Go watch her for a little bit. She can tell you something that probably I can't explain to you today. So in very simple English or lignity that we all comprehend, there are too many people who are looking for and depending on their identity that is outside of themselves instead of being happy and thank God. Yeah, I said God for you, or thank the heavens, or thank life that they are simply just a living, breathing being. I respect an individual who is successful by being just who they are, not successful by depending on their identity. So therefore, the breakdown of a so-called Hebrew Israelite and all this old kind of crazy, I am a Jew, I am a this, I'm a Muslim, I'm a hoppa, okay? Or I am a monkey, I'm a hippo, I'm a pig, I'm Alpha the chicken, okay? Or, well, we know the best, I'm Ralph the dog in the camera, okay? All that jargon means spit when it's all said and done. All that matters in existence or life is who you are, not what you put on your title or what you think you are. It's who you are. And what you are is a living being. You are a man or you are a woman. That's it. And that's what I'm going to accept you at. If you don't like it, too bad. Find somebody else. I'm not your friend anyway. I keep it raw. I keep it uncut. I keep all my racing slicks directly on the racing pavement, whether you like it or not. Because I got places to be and not sitting still with low-hanging, still water, low-hanging fruit individuals who is looking for an identity outside of themselves. So to answer your question, okay, my groups who have requested this from me, all right, there is no need to even dive into the lignity, the details, or the historical ignorance of this particular thing. Listen, even if I was a doctor myself, okay, legitimately, guess what? You will still never know, because I will still tell you, hey, I'm Leon C, aka Morpheus. I'm not trying to sit here and to impress you, nor would I ever care to let you know unless I have to be in that situation. If I'm in a hospital situation, if I'm delivering a baby, if I'm having a minor discussion with the individual and they need professional help, that may be a different story. I will pull it out only then, okay, because it might be an emergency or a serious situation. But until then, I don't need to walk around with the badge on and say, this is who I am. That's the same as a person standing in front of you saying, my religion is this. I'm pastor so-and-so. So respect me because I'm pastor this and that. Or I've been a pastor of the Episcopal Church of Purple Ducks and Sick Pigs for 30 years. Okay? I'll be the first wise, tallest, biggest, broadest, smartest, fourth-going guy to be standing right there in front of his face and be like, you got a problem, dude. Do you think we care about who you think you are and what you've been doing for 30 years? What matters is who you are, okay? Not who you think you are. The problem is, and again, there is too many people, too many of them, who is in an identity crisis. When you figure out that we are generally and have been for a long time in an identity crisis, whenever you got like 1,000 gender pronunciations and idealism, whenever you got LGBT 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, ABC, X, Y, purple, up, down, and tree bent over here and still grass, okay, then we are, as a human race, looking for an identity. I'm not talking about them. I'm just basically, telling you the fact, because I really can't say it. I'm being honest with you. I really can't say LGBT, blah, 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 because I don't know about it. I don't. Because the letters keep changing every year. All I know is the alphabet, 5, 6, 7, 8, and numbers 2, 5, 6, whatever. Okay, because we're confused. We're trying to figure out who we are as a human race, which is very silly when we've been here for like how many years now, and we're trying to figure out who is man and woman. So realistically, it is no different as I say, how about this? And I'm not talking about you Jews. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, don't get your panties in a bunch. Take your salt somewhere else. Okay, but I'm just going to say a Jew. Okay, what point would it be for me to say, oh, I'm the original Jew from such and such, such and such? And here I am in 2020, like, what, who, why? Do I care? So I'm breathing like everybody else. I'm eating food like everybody else. I exist like everybody else. Morpheus bleeds like everybody else. Why do I need to depend on that? For what? Unless it is a requirement, unless I really need to, based on the situation, that's a different story. If there's an inheritance, right? If I'm amongst my Jews and we need to do something, I don't know, what the hell, right? That may be that situation. But what's the point of me walking around in the stores and around public areas and having conversations with people saying, oh, you know who I am? You know what I am? I'm a Jew. You're like, yes, so respect me because I'm a Jew. Dude, last time I checked, you were just Brandon. Like, you're Brandon. Hi. Yeah. What are you supposed to do? Kiss your shoes? You want me to go in the back and get a red carpet? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I know what the hell you want me to do. Wait a minute. Hey, guys, hold on. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey, we're gonna shut down the store. Okay. I want all the rest of you customers to leave the store because, and as a matter, you over there, old lady over there. Oh, Rawers. Oh, that's a female. Oh, excuse me. Whoever the hell you are, please put all the groceries down. You put the hot dogs down. Get that out of your mouth. Okay. You little kids, stop playing with the grocery cart. I want all of you 200 people to leave out of this grocery store because Brian the Jew have just walked into the store. So what I'm going to do is give him VIP. Okay, y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? VIP. And I'm going to roll out the red carpet and I'm going to play some music in the background and probably get some duck feathers from the back room. And I'm going to pour it all over his head to make it seem like it's snowing in here. So he can go in here and buy special products that you too have the ability to buy because he wants me to praise him because he's a Jew. That's what it really is. Now, it may seem like I'm making it very dramatic, all right, and taking it above and beyond. I'm giving you a real life example and real thinking. These are the second by second interactions that happen within that individual's mind. The moment you say, oh, I am how about this? I'm a priest of such, 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 such. Oh, that's the priest. Oh, that's the Pope type guy. Oh, you the Pope type of guy. Ooh, I need to respect you. Let me lay down flat on the ground with my face in the mud. Okay, in my new suit and my brand new shoes, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you step on my back to get you somewhere because you're the Pope. Are you a priest? Or because you got a title, or as if you don't bleed like I do. Hell no. You got me? So listen, that's the same as saying, oh, I am a Hebrew Israelite. I am a this and that. I am a donkey from the forgotten farm from 2,000 years ago. Absolutely not. Because what you realistically, listen, gentlemen, listen, Neo, I really want you to take this. This is for you. It may not be for those who got their panties in bunch. They're too sensitive and they can't handle the way Morpheus teaches. Too bad. Let them go somewhere else. We don't need them here anyway. So I'm going to give this to you. Listen, when an individual thinks like that and talks as if their entitlement or their badging is important, they're letting you know psychologically in your face, okay? They really don't care about the person that they are, nor do they appreciate what they are. They're looking for an identity. That is the same all the way across the board. Simple as that. Because if you talk to an individual and you're not standing there saying, you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I am a billionaire. I own this entire block. Do you know I own this industry? Do you know I own this car lot out here? I own this where I am the CEO. Right. If you come to the person and you're not talking nonsense like that, that means you're comfortable in your skin. That means you are modest. That means you're a sensible individual that anybody can get along. As a matter of fact, it should be to the point where when somebody's interacting with you, they don't even know what you're capable of or who you are until you say something about it or until it happens right before their face. That's just like this girl thought I was a nobody, right? And of course, I do a little training every now and then. I got people that, let's put it like this. I have people that learn under me. Okay. And so this one girl who, and I don't cold approach, but she was having a conversation one day. We were sitting down in a waiting room waiting for some services. Okay. And I began to have a conversation with her and she act like she was too good to talk to. You know, she had the cold shoulder. She had an attitude. And when she did give a couple of dimes to have a conversation, she began to talk about this. She said something like, oh, I don't like dealing with scrubs who seem like they're alone, don't have any friends and no family. They don't have anything going on for them. You know, I like men who are very, very active. You know, they got life going on for them. They like the famous type of guys. I like men who is well known and liked by everybody else. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, dang, I guess he must be lucky. She's like, well, I guess you don't seem like that guy. I mean, you're so quiet. You sitting in here. I'm like, how am I quiet? I'm talking to you. And she started saying, well, I don't see anybody around you. So I guess you probably have troubles picking up girls, don't you? And again, I told you, I'm cold approach. This is her mind. This is the lady's speech here, okay? Not me, not Morpheus. I guess you have troubles picking up girls. I guess you might have problems in your life too. So you probably, just like the rest of those guys, ain't got nothing else going for you. That's probably why you talking to me, because you're bored. You ain't got nothing else going on. You want to try to holler at me, don't you? Yes, she was bold like that. And I was humble. I was real quiet. I said, okay, yeah. If that's how you feel, if that's what you think, because I keep all my conversations short with women, because you never know where it's going to go. All right. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to give them fairness. I'm going to give them a little respect. As a matter of fact, I give them the floor to talk however they want to talk. It's not going to spend forever in dealing with their problems. But, all right, giving her this opportunity. And I'm like, okay, I guess you're right. I'll give you a chance. Let you swing the baseball bat. And maybe you have a home run. And before the conversation was done, before the punchline came in, check this out. I said, I guess you must be right. Your perspectives are in the right place. I guess you got it made. I guess I'm just like the rest of the regular guys, and I just don't have nothing else going for me. I'm just wasting my time. I'm just talking to you because I'm bored, huh? I'm talking to you because I ain't got nothing else going for me. Now, notice I didn't say who I was, what I was. I didn't say what I got going on, what I'm capable of doing. You know, that I'm Leon C, a.k.a. Morpheus, and all this little great stuff. No. You know, I didn't say alpha. I didn't say I love women and all to try to impress her, or, oh, what, you think that? Oh, I got this outside. I got this type of money in pink. No. All right. A good 5-6 minutes later, because I was actually waiting there for somebody, one of my people that are underneath me that I talk to and I train and I teach. Ha. She thought I was a nobody. The person came out that I came waiting for. The girl looked at them, and that individual who I help and teach walked towards me. A few other people that was outside the door came in as well. So, oh yeah, oh, they ready? They ready, Leon? Oh, okay, pop. The girl was staring at the whole time, looking at the interaction between me and the other people. All right. Remember, she said I was just on board. Ain't got nothing else but to do. I don't got nothing else going on for me. Nobody likes me, right? I don't have friends and family, but here I am amongst groups of people, almost like the paparazzi. No, I'm not that famous. No, I don't have anything going on like that. It happens every now and then, but that doesn't mean that I'm swinging it like that, and I'm not. Okay. It was just a very perfect situation that the universe was practically slapping her in the face for talking stupid. And I love that moment because I didn't plan it. It just happened. Okay, and here she is. She was reading the magazine at the time. Now she's just staring, interested in the very fact that this guy, who she blatant said was a nobody, proved to her that I am somebody, that I do got something going on. And at least there are some people who I do talk to besides her. And she's not my only option of conversation. Okay, and by that walked on out. So she pretty much stole herself in stupidity. So another good example right there, and I know it's a little bit off, but it's the same thing. I didn't sit there and try to prove anything to this girl. Didn't have a badge. Wasn't trying to say, oh, you know, I'm this and that. Oh, yeah? You think I'm just a nobody, huh? I'm a nobody. Well, let me prove myself to you. No. If you want to prove how good you are, oh, here we go. If you want to prove how good you are as an ancient being of planet Stupor, if you want to prove that you are some type of gift from the heaven as an Israelite or somebody, what the hell you think you are, right? If you want to prove that you are the best culture or the best being, if you want to prove that you have something to offer the universe or offer the land, do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. You got to sit there and talk about, oh, I am Khazra Moon or something of ancient Egypt. Don't tell me about it. Be about it. Nobody cares about your talking. Talking has been enough so far. All we like to do nowadays is talk and prove and try to prove that we are somebody through our entitlement, through our language, and through putting somebody down. Okay? And to let you all know, if you haven't realized it by now, I don't put anybody down. I am not a racial difference type of man because the sun shines on every culture. I love every culture, whether you like it or not. I love white people. I love black people. I love Mexicans, Asians, and all the rest of them. If you don't like it, guess what? Morpheus don't give a damn. Take your hatred somewhere else. And that's another thing. You cannot say that you are from God when you're trying to put someone else down to make them feel lesser than what you are. You can't say that you are a leader or a follower of God or Christ in your so-called word or biblical dignity if you cannot love everyone like Christ did in the story. And you can't say that you love God and you of God, okay, if you hate any culture when God makes the sun shine on every culture. And I just said it. God put breath, energy, and life into every culture, even the cultures that you hate. So why and how could you say that you are from God and you hate any culture? You are not of God. You have to be of, in your language and in your idea, you got to be of Satan or the devil. You're not of God. You're of the twisted idea of the failing, fallen state of mind and distortion of what we're dealing with in a westernized civilization, always looking for a way out through hatred. Did you hear what I said? Always looking for a way out through hatred. Truth, life, freedom, and peace is not going to be an evolution through hatred. Trying to find the identity, here we go, the identity of what really God is and what love is and what's supposed to be. Okay, you're not going to find it through hating cultural people, or hating the differences of opinion, or hating others who don't look like you or don't have the color of your skin because you think you're special than the rest of them. I don't do cultural biased here, nor do I do what do you call that, put somebody down to bring myself up type of mentality. The only person that is not allowed around Morpheus, the only person that I am going to roast, okay, I'm going to roast them like a pig on a campfire. That is people who are simply stupid and weak and redundant to themselves and want nothing but negative energy for everybody around them to make themselves feel better. Or there's another person that's roasted as well. And most of you know who this individual is. That's the sloth. No sloths allowed, because the sloth will be roasted in my academy. Before it even walk on the door, I'll sit back and say, Neil, go get him. Okay, so that's my take on Hebrew Israelites and every other type of let me mark and title myself individuals who's looking for a place in the world instead of making it for themselves. I can care. Listen, I'm on this beat for a second. I'm gonna get off of it. I can care less if the president came up to me and said, you know who you are, Morpheus? Your ancestor was from this certain place. That you're actually a king. You are a prince to the king. So that makes you the new king. I'll be okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's fine. That's good to know. But I love and I like who I am. I'm satisfied with simply being man. If that's my ancestral trait, fine. Okay, good. Whoopee. Yeah. Hey, I'm a prince. Whatever. Oh, you're the new king of so-and-so. You need to gain that title and go on over there. Well, I might go over there, but don't call me a king. You got me? Okay. Yeah. I might take the inheritance. I might hang out with them, but don't call me a king. Don't praise me. Don't sit here and say, oh, you the prince. Oh, you're from royalty. You got to be better. Oh, we respect. Like, no. Don't respect me because I'm a prince. Respect me because I'm a man. You got me? Because I'm satisfied being a man, not being an identity of a title. So in your language, or simply put, cold turkey French, get out. Get your beta ass out. Now, that's another thing. No betas allowed over here either. You also get roasted. Put you on that campfire, turn you right over until you are well done. Now, here is the next one. And I'm going to make it short, of course. Said that 44 minutes ago. I had a conversation with a couple of women, and they wanted to know about the unvirtuous ways. Can it be cleansed? That's a very high thing. That's a very strong subject. And the discussion went as far as women who are so-called Instagram models, women who used to be porn stars, women who put themselves out there on the market and they want to be cleansed. They want to find them a good man over time. They want to find themselves a bit of glory in the new environment. They want to find a grade A man who's going to not only provide for them, but love them, to care for them, to give them the old flame back again. They want this man to massage her shoulders. They want this guy to be willing to take out the trash and be willing to take out all of her trash as well. That is trash. That is her struggles, her pains, her issues, her lonely nights, right? The normal things. Being able to have this person to hold your hand when you're walking down the aisle or wherever else. You know, he's holding your hands or holding behind you while you're in the grocery store. So let's break it down again. And I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut once again. The ladies already received it. They're going to receive it again in this type of professional way, this audio. But I'm going to give it to all of you. And I'm going to put myself in the front once again. I remember when I was a 16-year-old boy. And I went to the grocery store. And I saw this this younger group. Of course, I was younger than them, but the couples was like one couple. They looked like to be about 21, 22 years old. And it burned into my mind because this guy was holding this woman from behind while they were walking so dearly to the aisle. They was in a store. I was a kid just watching at this time, just marveling at this display. And they were so in sync with each other's step. He didn't step on the heels of her foot, nor did they trip on each other. He held her from one end of the grocery aisle all the way down to the end without missing a beat, while rubbing her stomach at the same time. I was fascinated. And I thought to myself, that's something that I want. That looks very good. So I began to wonder, how am I going to get that? And then there were some certain situations where during that time, there were always family movies and pictures. There was always TV shows that sort of depict a modern family or a modern relationship between a boy and a girl, where they have their little struggles, but they will always come back home together. Comes home to her, or she comes home from wherever she's at, maybe babysitting or spending time with her sister or something, and it seemed like a very happy home. It seemed like everything worked out quite well for them, the way that it displayed on television set. But I began to think to myself, through wisdom and just growing older and getting smarter, I was like, I don't want that to stop. All these great things that I see before me seem to die away too quickly. There's a lot of relationships and couples, they really don't act like that normally. That is what the television displays and the stupid box. And normally those couples that you may see at the grocery store who's kissing, hugging, and holding hands and smooching in front of everyone, and all the embarrassing things that normally should be saved at home. I've often wondered, how can I keep that going? Because I begin to look at other people who got divorced. I saw other people in the community who was once like that, and they no longer live with their husband, or the husband no longer live with them. And I've often wondered, how did this happen? What's the issue with these strange people, where one day it's a sunlight, sunny and warm sandy beaches together, to this dark, lonely, separate, desperate, struggling life Well, I got a red pill to give to you today. Check me out on the second audio of this, and I'll explain this to you. As I promised, I'm doing my best to try to keep this short. This is going on too long, almost an hour now, and I don't want it to go too further, too much longer, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and explain how this deterioration happened, and I'm gonna answer the question as to how can a woman change the clock? How can she turn back the hands of time, and after she gives herself to the market as a donkey dunk toy? So follow me over there and I will complete this lesson.